Good evening and welcome to News Watch this Friday, the 23rd of July, 2021. Thank you for joining us for the latest news. I'm Tony Omondi, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. Let's begin our broadcast. Now, the arrest of two judges, Justices Aggrey Muchelule and Juma Chitembwe, has sent jitters across the justice systems with judges and other judicial officers condemning the Thursday's arrest of the duo. Following the arrest by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, Chief Justice Martha Koome says no formal report has been made to her regarding the arrests. The CJ has not commented on the matter that is already before the High Court, but said she will issue a detailed briefing on the arrest once the court process is over. As the news of the arrest spread in the country, judges and other actors have voiced their concern, condemning the DCI for arresting them. The two were arrested on Thursday and taken to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations for questioning of allegations of bribery. Our reporter Grace Ongoi begins our bulletin.
The details of the arrest of two High Court judges, Justices Aggrey Muchelule and Juma Chitembwe on Thursday, continues to spark uproar from members of the public. Even as this happens, the High Court has issued directives deterring the prosecution or arraigning of the two judges before the High Court listens to their case. The Kenya Judges and Magistrates Association, KJMA, had moved to court seeking to stop the prosecution of the two judges, saying that the arrest was malicious. Lawyers Cliff Ombeta and lawyer Dunstan Omari, on behalf of KJMA, pointed an accusing finger at the DCI, saying they were being used by the state.
So what does the DCI do? Wakes up one morning, decides to come to the judges' chambers and arrest them. First of all, what have they not done? They have not informed them who the accusers are, who the complainants are, which case are we talking about, what amount of money are we talking about, who demanded for money, who brought the money, who was given the money. These are issues that should have been put at the forefront. These are not there. So the question is, this was malice. If it was malice, what is the intention? Now, if you are going to come to a judge and arrest him from his chambers, are we safe? Are the judges safe? If the judges are not safe, is anybody else safe?
Police are said to have ransacked their chambers before taking them to the DCI for questioning and were afterwards released. According to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, the two were arrested over allegations of corruption and abuse of office, and that the investigating team were acting on intelligence, mentioning that investigations are ongoing despite their release as they recorded their statements. However, in a Twitter post, the Director of Public Prosecutions, Nordin Haji, denied claims that he had given orders for the arrest, saying he was not aware of the circumstances which led to the arrest or questioning of the judges. He said he did not receive any investigation files concerning the two. The arrest of the judges can be seen as a leadership obstacle for newly elected Chief Justice Martha Koome, with many seeing the arrest as a move to undermine and intimidate the independence of the judiciary. Hours after the arrest and release, Martha Koome issued a statement detailing that she had no knowledge of the arrest of the two, as no formal report was either written to her as the Chief Justice or the Chair of the Judicial Service Commission. In her statement, Koome went on to encourage judges and magistrates to continue dispensing their duties without fear. The Law Society of Kenya took a hit at the executive in a statement signed by the president of the society, Nelson Harvey. The statement accused the executive of attempts to undermine the independence of the judiciary. Elgeyo Marakwet Senator Kipchumba Murkomen, an ardent supporter of Deputy President William Ruto, is among leaders who gave their opinion on the matter of arrest of the two. According to Murkomen, the arrest of the two is a scheme to force the hand of the law to rule in favor of the Building Bridges initiative by way of intimidation of the judges. The two judges are claimed to have been involved in taking bribes in court cases they were hearing. Justice Muchelule was among 6 judges who were not sworn in. President Uhuru Kenyatta refused to swear him in over alleged integrity issues. Justice Chitembwe was among judges and lawyers who were interviewed for the position of Chief Justice to succeed David Maraga in April. Grace Ongoi, Hope TV Newswatch.
Meanwhile, the senior counsel's bar in Kenya has condemned Thursday's arrest, searches and questioning of High Court judges Said Chitembwe and Aggrey Muchelule. Through the bar chairman, Dr. Fred Ojiambo, the senior counsel called on the Director of Criminal Investigations, DCI George Kinoti, to explain why he subjected the duo to public humiliation. Speaking to journalists after witnessing the official launch of a 5-year strategic plan for Kenya Wildlife Service at the Watamu Marine National Park, Ojambo said the DCI's action was unwarranted.
It's a dreadful act, a dreadful act of impunity, in the sense that it strikes at the very heart of justice, the administration of justice, and the rule of law. A judge's chambers is not, it must be a place which is inviolable. People should not be able to run in and search the person or the chambers of a judge. That's because not only is the judge's position being undermined, but the position of the various litigants whose matters are before the judge might very well be endangered. We condemn without reserve the manner in which this arrest and search was conducted.
Now, 2 victims of last weekend Malanga fire incident who have been nursing their burns at home have emerged from the village to seek treatment at the Yala Sub-County Hospital in Siaya. According to Siaya County Executive Committee member for Governance, Dorothy Owino, the 2 were immediately admitted at the Sub-County Hospital, bringing to 27 the number still receiving treatment across various hospitals in the county. Speaking while receiving contributions towards an emergency kitty started by Governor Colonel Basanga to help fund treatment of the victims, Owino appealed to those who were injured during the incident to come out and seek medical assistance.
We also have received 2 additional patients from the community yesterday at Yala Sub-County Hospital, and therefore we want to appeal to Kenyans or those who are hurt in the tragedy to come to public hospitals to seek treatment. As a county government, we are going to take care of the burial of the 20 victims who have died from the tragedy, and we are also, from our hospitals, continuing to manage those patients who are still there.
We are very grateful to the county government and other well-wishers who have come forward as they have today, and some even personally to the facility to support the victims of this tragic incident. The needs at the hospital are diverse, from medical supplies, drugs and non-pharmaceutical commodities, to other things which are more basic, including protein supplementation and things as basic as food and fluids.
And over 2,500 squatters in Athi River, Machakos County, have come out to protest plans by the Kenya Urban Roads Authority, KURA, to construct a road over a disputed piece of land. The residents, who want relevant authorities to intervene, say they were not consulted regarding the construction. They want the government to relocate them before the road expansion plans continue.
Sisi hakuna mtu alitutembelea akatuambia kuna barabara zinatolewa. Tumeshtukia tu matinga ziko kwa ground. Kitu ya pili, kuna hii shamba iko na case kotini, ambao kuna holders ambao ni status quo zinazuia chochote zitendeke hapa. Lakini tunaona kama kuna officials wa serikali ambao wako ground ni undermanned. Hawataki kuona holders.
Tuko kotini. Na kesi ikiwa kotini ya hii shamba haistahili kufanywa kitu, na tuliwapea court orders na siko sinasema chochote kisifanyike kwa shamba. Sasa tunaona tunaforziwa tukubaliane, lakini sisi tumekataa, lakini nao wanasema watafanya. Tunaomba serikali ione vile itatusaidia, kwa sababu hatuwezi kufanywa hivyo, kwa sababu court order inasema tusifanye kitu yoyote hapa, lakini wao wanakuja kufanya. Kwa nini? Wametukozoti, watueleze nini.
The High Court in Eldoret will on September 23rd this year rule on whether to release on bail Naftali Kinuthia, the man accused of hacking to death a Moi University medical student, Ivy Wangeshi, or to detain him. Kinuthia, who has been on remand since his arrest over 2 years ago, has again filed an application for his release pending hearing and determination of his case. The application was made public during the second hearing of the case before Eldoret High Court Judge Stephen Kidinji, where two security officers working at the Moi University School of Health Sciences near the Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, where the incident occurred, and a classmate to the slain Wangeshi gave their testimonies under oath.
The reason for the adjournment being that the prosecution wanted to introduce some documents which were not in our custody, and it is tried law that trial should not be by ambush. By the time you're coming to court, you need to present all the documents you are relying on.
This is one of the few cases that are pace setting for this country. There has been so many murders. Almost every day we are hearing of people being murdered in the most gruesome way. What are the consequences? People don't fear any consequences when they kill. This is the locus classicus on what ought to happen to perpetrators of murder.
And President Uhuru Kenyatta has held talks with the visiting Foreign Affairs Minister of the Republic of Ireland, Simon Coveney. The president and his visitor discussed a wide array of bilateral and multilateral subjects of mutual interest to Kenya and Ireland, top among them agriculture and technology transfer. President Kenyatta's State House, Mombasa, expressed Kenya's gratitude to the government of Ireland for its financing of the £1 million Irish Potato Valley Chain project being implemented by the International Fertilizer Development Centre, IFDC, in Nyandarua County. The head of state welcomed Ireland's decision to support Kenya's dairy sector and encouraged the European nation to extend the same assistance to the beef subsector. All right, with our story, we take a short commercial break on News Watch. We'll be back with more to stay with us.
From country music, classical quartet harmonics,
now I'm a child,
homecoming series,
for he saved the worst among
tent revival, and many more.
I'm gonna lay down my burden, down by the riverside, down by the riverside.
Watch these great musical adventures on the Bill Gaither Show, featuring Gaither Vocal Band, Linda Randall,
for the God on the mountain,
and many other series like the Alaskan Cruise.
And now I'm feeling mighty fine.
These gospel favorites, recorded in front of beautiful sceneries, guaranteed to rejuvenate your love for gospel music. Bill Gaither Show, only on Hope TV, where you look and live. Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content, of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back to Newswatch. The Family Discipleship Conference, FDC, today entered its fourth day with congregants gathering both online and physically at Sitam Valley Road to listen to the speakers of the day. Today, the topics focused on mental health and wellness, highlighted by psychologist Dr. Charity Waithima, and the institution of marriage, accentuated by Dr. Emily Obwaka. Tiffany Omboy has this report.
With the event attaining physical and virtual attendance, the Family Discipleship Conference 2021 was in all glamour as it entered its second last day. The focus pointed to mental health, which, as described by Dr. Charity Waithima, is an area that is undermined by many in the church. She highlighted the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic to families and the country as one of the causes of depression in individuals.
We have over 200 different types of mental illnesses. They include depression, post-traumatic stress disorders. Some children have what we call attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. We have bipolar that has ravaged many people in society. We have many, over 200, and people need to note that. The family is at the center when it comes to mental wellness. And the members of the family and the members of the society within a family can enhance or make mental wellness go down. How can a family enhance mental wellness? If a family is able to have time for its members, it helps in mental wellness. Some families practice discrimination and favoritism.
Further, Dr. Emily Obwaka concluded the day's affairs by speaking on dating and the institution of marriage.
What are the values you're made to be esteemed, especially about faith, about the institution of marriage being of God, about your marital roles, because it's going to be difficult if you're not thinking in the same way.
What are some of the dangers of postmodern marriages?
The dangers?
Yes.
The dangers is that we are flossing out there. We are about prosperity, we're about materialism, we're about looking good, we engage in recreation, we're about career, we are moving on the fast track, and this falls through. They have nothing that they stand on, and that house can come crashing down.
We had a chance to speak to attendants at the conference, and this is what they had to say.
I enjoyed particularly, let me say, a number of sessions, yes, of course, but I'm very big on mental health. So just listening to the panelists today talking about mental health and how we need to look out for one another. And especially in this time of COVID, where we think people are strong, we actually need to look out for those we think are strong even more. So I'm excited to be here and I'm learning, and I want to invite everybody who needs to come here to just come and learn. Tune into YouTube or Hope TV and you will learn a lot.
One thing that I will go out with always remembering is that it all began with God. So even the family and everything that goes through it, we have to understand that it all began with God. And we also learned about financial from the biblical point of view. And today it was amazing because we touched the topic that most people don't think if it's very important, mostly in the church setup, the issue of mental health.
Reporting for Hope TV Newswatch, I'm Tiffany Wamboy.
A section of church leaders have cautioned police against selective application of the law. The leaders, led by the General Overseer of the Full Gospel Churches of Kenya, Bishop Dr. David Macharia, said police risk plunging the country into chaos because of selective application of the law. He said Kenyans want peace and that no one should interfere with the current harmonious relations among all Kenyans. Speaking at the Buruburu Full Gospel Church during the consecration of Bishop Isaac Kariuki as the regional overseer, Nairobi region, the leaders called for equal treatment of all Kenyans in accordance with the constitution.
Hakuna yule ambaye Kenya ni yake kuliko yule mwingine. We are all equal sababu kitambulisho ni moja au pengine huduma namba ni moja. Whatever the case. Na kwa sababu hiyo ningependa kusema mambo haya au neno hili kwa wale ambao wanaamua maneno na wanapendekeza maneno. Jihadharini sana mnapopendekeza mambo yanayoweza kuharibu amani ya Kenya. We want peace, and as a church we are saying We want that coexistence, harmonious coexistence, peaceful coexistence ya all communities, ya watu wa aina zote bila kutugawanya. Tunataka sote tuwe wa Kenya moja.
Ukisoma kitabu ya Isaya 10 na mstari wa kwanza inasema, ole wenu mnaotunga sheria zisizo za haki, nyinyi mnaopitisha sheria za kunyima watu maskini haki yao. Mutajificha wapi adhabu ya Mungu ikiwajia? Mimi mnanielewa? Mnaamini Mungu ama mko You know, the Bible teaches us that but those who know their God, wale wanaomjua Mungu wao watakuwa.
In order to embrace cultural diversity, the Masinde Muliro University of Science and Technology has organized its annual week-long Tamasha event that showcases the cultural heritage of Kenya among other nationalities. The event, with a theme of leveraging on cultural diversity and resilience to tackle COVID-19, is set to promote cultural diversity and enhance peace and unity.
Tamasha is an annual activity that is always organized in the university. It gives us an opportunity to embrace our cultural diversities and differences as we come together as students, staff, the community. So we also endeavor in bringing close our community members so that we work together.
We are the members of Most Borana community. We were showcasing our culture here at this tent today. It was involving the traditional artifacts, what we do during naming ceremonies, during the wedding ceremonies.
We have presented our cultural food. We have the traditional food inaitwa ugali ya miogo, ya. Then also we have some traditional soup that we also presented.
So hapa tumekuwa na mursi, popularly venye huwa mnaona inakaa kuwa na makaa. So makaa tumeonyesha ni it is a plant. Si eti ni makaa ile tunaitoa kwa makaa kwa mti yote. So hii iko na a very specific enzyme inaitwa enzyme amylase. Enzyme amylase specifically kwa watu walifanya biology inasaidia kwa digestion ya chakula.
Madhira MP Rigathi Gachagua has been questioned at the Criminal Intelligence Headquarters here in Nairobi in connection with a 12 billion shilling scandal. Gachagua is alleged to have been arrested by more than 20 DCI detectives at his Nyeri home on Friday morning. Investigators are reportedly looking for details on how he registered 49 companies that he allegedly traded with various organizations that contributed to winning tenders worth more than 12 billion shillings. Gachagua has, however, denied the allegations.
Ask DCI Kinoti if he's interested in any other one of us, including Dennis Itumbi, who is here with us. Maybe he can arrest us today. We keep Gachagua company as we wait for Moses Kuria on Monday. I am also aware that yesterday they asked their officers to review video clips of all my public utterances looking for a charge on incitement. If they want me to say anything inciting, they can get me a rally somewhere over this weekend and they may have reason to arrest me. Because I am told they have not found anything else. They are looking for incitement. But we shall not be cowed. I think that is the long and short of it.
Let's look at what is happening internationally. Haiti has held a funeral for President Jovenel Moïse, who was assassinated on July 7th. It comes as his wife attended the service, making her first public appearance since returning home from treatment abroad. Religious leaders were joined by government leaders and citizens in mourning the leader who was felled by the bullet. Martine Moïse was wassailing while joined by her 3 children in Port-au-Prince, where they attended a memorial service for the husband. Martine Moïse, 47, was flown to America for emergency treatment after the assassination of her husband by Colombian mercenaries. Attendance at the ceremony in church was reduced over fears of violence as the country prepares to lay its president to rest. It's reported that Moise is the 5th president from the same part of the country to be assassinated. Early this week, the Prime Minister, Claude Joseph, agreed to step down in favor of Ariel. And South Africa's former President Jacob Zuma on Thursday attended the funeral of his brother in his hometown. Correctional facilities in South Africa allow inmates to attend interment ceremonies of immediate family members. Zuma was jailed to 15 months after the court probing his presidency found him guilty of snubbing an inquiry into alleged corruption. His jailing on July 8th sparked unprecedented violence for days in a row, leaving more than 200 people dead and shops looted. The former president had turned himself in, fearing the lapse of an order to have him arrested. Right, Newswatch takes another short break. We'll be back with business and sports news.
Welcome to Activate.
We praise together, we praise Him.
Whether you are fat or thin, and for me, I don't consider myself fat. I consider myself good for my purpose, to hug women. When they come crying, and they come and hug me, they just come and I hug them and they cry and cry and cry until they are comfortable.
We praise together, we praise Him.
Our Christian life is not just about God always stepping in when you are in trouble. But sometimes you need to go through the valley of the shadow of death, and God will say, angels, stand away. He must go through that. She must go through that. Because out of this would come something greater and more beautiful.
Let's continue with business news. Tourism stakeholders in the coast region are now optimistic ahead of the arrival of the ever-chartered flight from Romania. Angel Christian Daniel, General Manager of MAP Travel, that brought 53 incentive Romanians on a 9-hour chartered flight from Bucharest to Mombasa, said more are willing to choose Kenya as a foreign destination. Jeff Mukole, who's the General Manager of Swahili Beach Hotel, said the maiden chartered flight from Romania signals the growing confidence in the destination by tourists with regards to preparedness against COVID-19, which has enhanced traveler confidence.
Kenya, it's it's very nice. For us, was the first time when we come here, and all the people enjoy the what they see. They enjoy the activities. They like it very, very, very much. So it's a big step for us, and we are happy that we can show and tell everybody that it's safe to travel now. In Kenya, the things are working well.
We are not only safe for travel, we're now almost honed in terms of protocols. Our staff know what safety protocols to maintain in sanitization, hygiene. I believe that Kenya has really achieved its goals in where it wanted to go in this area.
We need to start sending the message that Kenya is open for business. And I think what this group does for us and what it says to the rest of the world is that Kenya is open for business, number one. Kenya is safe to travel to, number two. And number three, the product that is Kenya, that is the best known product possibly in the world, is available for sale, whether it is safari, whether it is beach, whether it is community travel.
It's been a tough time for the industry, but I believe this shows some level of confidence, one in Kenya, and the efforts that have been put in place by government to ensure that there's a conducive environment for guests to resume their holidays and events and conferences and meetings in the destination.
The Kenya Tea Development Agency, KTDA, says the recently introduced price reserve has started bearing fruit, and the volume for smallholder tea factories managed by the agency reflect a positive response. While introducing the reserve price, the KTDA board and the CS Ministry of Agriculture noted that tea prices have declined below production cost, negatively impacting the tea sector and, most importantly, the smallholder tea farmer. Commenting on this new development, the chairman of the KTDA board, David Ishoho, said that his board is focused and committed to ensuring that the smallholder tea farmer gets the best from their tea business despite the challenging market environment, which has been marked by increased tea volumes and a depressed global market ravaged by the COVID-19 pandemic. At the same time, the board chairman said that KTDA had disbursed a mini bonus of 1.31 billion shillings, which will be paid together with the June Greenleaf monthly delivery. And some sports news now. The opening ceremony of the Tokyo, Japan Summer Olympics took center stage at the Japan's National Stadium. It's the first time the Olympic will be without fans or even close relatives of the athletes. This is because of the pandemic that has rocked the world. Tokyo went in a state of emergency after COVID-19 spike, though the games have come under huge criticism from the public, the majority of whom want the Olympics cancelled or postponed again. In all, Kenya national women volleyball team will open their first match against host Japan. The Malkia strikers, guided by Paul Bitok, are optimistic of starting at the right foot and that they will come out as winners on Sunday. Bitok also thanked the national government, the Ministry of Sports and the National Olympic Committee for facilitating and providing a conducive environment for the team. And Kenyan sprinter Mark Otieno is hoping to shine in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics that kicked off in Japan. Otieno, who is representing Kenya alongside Ferdinand Omanyala in the men's 100-meter finals, is confident that he will make his countrymen proud after his last training session in Kurume, Japan. Last week, the sprinter received 1 million shilling sponsorship from Safaricom as part of a deal which will give him access to the best quality shoes, support his training needs, and cover his logistics to allow him attend other competitions.
Hey guys, just had my last session of the week, so tomorrow I'm resting, traveling back on Thursday, so training is going on so well. I was just trying to work on my last 30 meters of the race, so right now I can say that I'm ready. So hopefully next week doing my final touches, preparing towards the competition. So I'm just feeling good. I'm feeling great. The weather is nice here today, as you can see. The sun is out. It's not really out, but it's quite cloudy, of which that's what we want. It's a bit warm today. A little windy, but we really like how the weather is today. So I'm feeling great, feeling awesome. Looking forward to next week. Cheers.
The government and the Football Kenya Federation FKF have been challenged to ensure both women and men's national football teams get equal support in all their activities. According to the director of Solasa Football Club in Eldoret Town, Elizabeth Nyambura, the Harambee Starlets do not get enough support from relevant agencies, saying the focus has always been on the men's football team, Harambee Stars. Speaking at Hill School grounds in Eldoret Town during the launch of the Solasa football tournament, Nyambura further expressed the need for grooming the developing girl child talent.
Look at our women team. I'm telling you, if we had 10 football team, 10 male football clubs here, you'd have seen Sudi here, you'd see politicians here. But now that these are the girls that are playing, it's like we don't exist. It's like nobody pays much attention to us. And don't forget, we have the majority of votes. And this time we are going to assert ourselves as women. So I'm asking the government, I'm asking even those who are in leadership to start taking girls seriously and also to consider supporting girls. We want our girls, and in fact, you know, even our Harambee Starlets is performing better. Girls are very talented. As you can see, some of the girls here in the Division 1 leagues, and they are very, very good. So we are asking even for scouts, come and visit such tournaments so that you can identify girls who you can even recruit in the Harambee Starlets, because we have talent that is untapped here. But you can see in the Harambee Starlets, they depend on those they know. The same people that were there last year, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, are the same people that are playing for Harambee Starlet.
We started 3 years ago, and our first project was here in Eldoret. We had good connections to Solasa, Solvudi, and for us it was important that the money we give to Solasa comes to the right people. Right people means for us, it goes to the ground, it goes to the girls, it goes to women, and we want with our project give support to especially girls and women.
Hii tournament ni important kwetu sana as a girl child kwa sababu inatukeep busy, that's one. Kitu ya pili, tukiwa busy grao tuna avoid kama bad company, tuna avoid mapia pressure huko nje, tuseme zile unapata watu wako huko nje, mabeshe zako wenye hawachezi ball wanakuconvince muende kufanya kitu mbaya. So tukiwa grao tunakuwa busy. After wamesimamisha ligi, hakuna vile tuko busy. So hii tournament pia inatukeep busy, tunaendelea kukeep fit tukitarajia FKF watarudisha ligi. Na pia performance yetu kwa ligi ijakuwa mbaya, imekuwa poa. So tukicheza kwa hii tournament ni kama tuna practice na tuna keep hiyo fitness ya ligi.
All right, with that, we've come to the end of this live broadcast of News Watch tonight. Thank you so much for always watching. I'm Tony Omondi. Our sign language interpreter has been Boniface Murithi. Have a blessed weekend ahead.